Hello and welcome to Newsmax Now. I'm John Bachman. Tonight we begin with the much anticipated summit between President Trump and Kim Jong Un. They are meeting at the Sentosa Resort south of Singapore's main island about 9 p.m. Eastern Time. The two leaders, one a democratically elected president, the other a despot, will talk face-to-face for about an hour, just their interpreters. Then they will meet with a bigger panel of advisors. There's been a lot of uncertainty leading up to this meeting. President Trump canceled it 3 weeks ago after North Korean officials insulted Vice President Mike Pence, and there were even threats of nuclear annihilation. Even now, questions remain. What does it really mean to denuclearize? Both sides are not on agreement on that just quite yet. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says the ultimate objective of this summit is for the U.S. and North Korea, but the ultimate objectives have not changed. Take a listen.
The complete, verifiable, and irreversible denuclearization of the Korea Peninsula is the only outcome that the United States will accept.
Expectations have been lowered since the summit was first announced back in early May. There's still hope for long-term peace, but this initial meeting is being referred to now by President Trump as a get-to-know-you-plus kind of meeting, and the first of several meetings to come, with both sides stressing that no major breakthroughs should be expected tonight. Joining me now to discuss this more in depth is Daily Beast columnist and author Gordon Chang. Gordon, as always, it's great to talk to you, especially on an important evening like tonight.
Well, thank you so much, John.
What are you hearing and seeing that's going to give you the best kind of indication on what we can expect out of this initial meeting?
Well, President Trump has been very clear. He has said, look, this is a meet and greet. We need to have a long-term relationship with North Korea. This is very much in contrast with what you were hearing from the administration a month ago, even 3 weeks ago, where they were saying essentially that, look, there's going to be no summit until the North Koreans give us firm pledges of dismantling their weapons program. So there has been a difference in tone, and this very well may be a shift in U.S. emphasis. Despite what Secretary of State Pompeo said this morning, clearly I think we're looking to win over North Korea from China, and that is as important as making sure that they no longer have nukes and missiles.
Let's focus on something else that the Secretary of State said today. Pompeo also said President Trump is willing to protect Kim if Kim gives up his nukes. That's a big if. Now take a listen to what Pompeo had to say.
He's prepared to provide North Korea with the security assurances, the warmed political relationships that they want and are demanding in exchange for actions by North Korea, the denuclearization of the peninsula. The exact timing, the exact modalities of that occurring are yet to be agreed to, but the president is willing to do something big, something bold.
All right, let's focus on those last couple of words there, Gordon. He said something big, something bold. What do you think that means?
I think this refers to what Kim apparently said to Moon Jae-in, the South Korean president, on April 27th, the first of their two summits, where Kim said to Moon, look, I'm willing to give up all my weapons for two things from the U.S. One of them is the U.S. signing a peace treaty to formally end the Korean War. The second is a pledge not to attack North Korea. So when I heard those words from the Secretary of State this morning, I thought that's probably what he was referring to. And, you know, the United States doesn't really give no attack pledges. This would be something very different. But in the circumstances, you know, it is understandable that we would be willing to consider that.
And what are the next steps if Kim is unwilling to give up his nuclear capabilities to the extent that both President Trump and Secretary Pompeo would like?
Well, that's returned to the maximum pressure campaign. And this means that we not only tighten the sanctions on North Korea, but also go after North Korea's major power sponsors who've been violated. Have to listen to President Trump because they will give him sanctions relief, because Kim obviously needs it. The Wall Street Journal is reporting that U.S. sources say that U.S. and UN sanctions have cut about half of North Korea's international payments. We can do a lot better than that, and clearly going after the Chinese and separating them from the North Koreans will drastically reduce that percentage.
How easy would it be to do that, though?
Well, it's not going to be easy, but this is something that the United States can do. It's within our power. We can disarm North Korea even without the use of force because we have overwhelming economic leverage. Been laundering money for North Korea. We have the power, just simply designating them as primary money laundering concerns under Section 311 of the Patriot Act. That would put them out of business. That's a death sentence. We haven't been willing to do that for China's major banks. We did it with a minor bank. That minor bank designation, June 29th of last year, that was sort of a signal of what we could do in the future. We haven't done the tough stuff yet, but I think President Trump is willing to, and when he sees that there is no other way, I think he will do that.